In the vibrant heart of San Francisco, a shimmering beacon of luxury once pierced the sky, the Millennium Tower. A 58-story residential marvel, it promised unparalleled urban living, commanding breathtaking views and premium prices. Completed in 2008, it quickly became an iconic feature of the city's dynamic skyline. But beneath its gleaming facade, a silent, insidious threat was already taking hold, a fundamental flaw that would unravel its grand ambitions, threatening not just its reputation, but its very existence. For years, residents lived in blissful ignorance, high above the city's hustle. Then, in 2016, the impossible was revealed: the Millennium Tower was sinking. Not gradually, not imperceptibly, but at an alarming rate. It wasn't just settling, it was tilting, noticeably leaning to the northwest. The revelation sent shockwaves through the city and the world of engineering. How could a modern marvel, built with cutting-edge technology, succumb to such a primal structural failure? The answer lay buried deep beneath its foundations. The site itself presented a formidable challenge. The Millennium Tower was erected on reclaimed land, a former landfill near the bustling Transbay Transit Center. This wasn't solid bedrock, it was a complex blend of soft bay mud and artificial fill. Building on such unstable ground demands extraordinary foundational integrity. Every skyscraper, every structure, needs to stand on something unyielding, something that can bear immense weight without compromise. For Millennium Tower, this fundamental requirement was tragically, disastrously overlooked. The original design called for a concrete slab, itself supported by a network of friction piles. These piles, ranging from 60 to 80 feet in length, were driven into the underlying sand layer. The critical flaw? They relied solely on friction with this sand to support the colossal weight of the tower. This design assumed the sand would remain stable. But in the context of soft, yielding bay mud, and against the backdrop of massive urban development, this assumption proved catastrophic. It was a gamble with gravity, a bet the developers would spectacularly lose. By the time the public learned of the issue in 2016, the tower had already sunk a shocking 16 inches. Its tilt, a lean of 2 inches to the northwest, was now an undeniable reality. These were not minor structural adjustments, these were clear indicators of profound, systemic failure. Each inch represented a compounding of risk, a deepening of the crisis. The building was moving, slowly, relentlessly, and it seemed no one knew how to stop it. The dream of luxury living was rapidly transforming into a nightmare. As panic spread, the finger-pointing began. Millennium Partners, the developers, swiftly cast blame on the Transbay Joint Powers Authority, or TJPA. They argued that TJPA's extensive dewatering operations during the construction of the adjacent Transbay Transit Center had removed critical groundwater, causing the soil beneath their tower to compact and settle. This was their central defense, a claim designed to deflect responsibility from their own design choices. It set the stage for a bitter, protracted dispute that would embroil multiple parties. TJPA vehemently denied responsibility, firing back with their own powerful accusation. They argued that the problem lay squarely with Millennium Partners' insufficient foundation design. TJPA engineers asserted that the tower's piles should have extended far deeper, reaching the bedrock more than 200 feet below the surface. Relying on friction in soft, unstable soil, they claimed, was a catastrophic miscalculation from the very beginning. This wasn't about dewatering, it was about a fundamental engineering oversight, a failure of foresight and prudence. The core of the engineering debate centered on this critical decision: bedrock or friction. For a structure of the Millennium Tower's magnitude, especially on such challenging terrain, extending piles to bedrock is often considered the gold standard for stability. Bedrock offers a solid, unyielding anchor, impervious to changes in groundwater or soil composition. The choice to stop short, to trust the friction of sand in an area notorious for soft bay mud, would forever haunt the project. It was a choice that prioritized cost or speed over long-term stability. The engineering dispute quickly escalated into a complex web of legal battles. Anguished residents, their luxury investments plummeting in value, launched lawsuits against Millennium partners. The developers, in turn, sued TJPA, seeking to shift liability and recover damages. The legal proceedings dragged on, a costly and emotionally draining saga mirroring the slow, inexorable decline of the tower itself. These weren't just abstract legal arguments, they represented the shattered dreams and financial ruin of hundreds of homeowners. After years of deliberation and legal wrangling, a repair plan emerged, the Perimeter Pile Upgrade Project. The ambitious proposal aimed to install 52 new concrete piles around the building's exterior, driven deep, this time, all the way to bedrock. The idea was to transfer a portion of the building's massive weight from the failing friction piles to these new, stable bedrock anchors. It was a monumental undertaking, estimated to cost over $100 million, a desperate bid to save the sinking skyscraper. The repair work commenced in 2020. There was a cautious optimism, a hope that this elaborate, expensive intervention would finally stabilize the tower. The goal wasn't just to stop the sinking, engineers also hoped to partially correct the tilt, to gently coax the building back towards verticality. It was a delicate dance between immense forces, a precise operation demanding absolute control. The city watched, the residents prayed, and the engineers meticulously drove the first of the new piles, each one a testament to human ingenuity against an unforgiving earth. But what unfolded was a cruel twist of fate, an unforeseen disaster. Instead of stabilizing the tower, the repair efforts exacerbated the problem. The building, already compromised, began to sink even faster, and its tilt accelerated. The very solution intended to save it was now pushing it further into the earth, deepening its lean. The precise cause of this catastrophic acceleration remains a subject of intense scrutiny, but the outcome was undeniable, chilling, and immediate. The repairs were making the problem worse. By 2021, the situation became untenable. After installing only 30 of the planned 52 piles, the repair work was abruptly paused. The accelerated movement of the tower was too great a risk to ignore, too alarming to continue. The sight of a luxury skyscraper sinking and tilting during its own rescue operation became a stark, humiliating symbol of engineering hubris. The project, once a symbol of hope, was now a painful monument to unintended consequences. A new plan, born from the ashes of failure, had to be urgently evaluated. As of late 2023, the full extent of the damage is stark. The Millennium Tower has now sunk an astonishing 26 inches. Its tilt, once a mere 2 inches, has ballooned to a terrifying 22 inches to the northwest. This means an additional 10 inches of sinking and a staggering 20 inches of tilt occurred during the repair efforts. Each number is a testament to the immense forces at play and the profound challenges of correcting such a fundamental structural flaw. The building's slow-motion catastrophe continues. The saga of the Millennium Tower offers invaluable, albeit painful, lessons for modern urban development. It underscores the critical importance of geotechnical engineering, especially when building on challenging soft urban soil. Understanding every layer, every water table, every potential variable beneath the surface is paramount. Rushing or cutting corners on foundational design, particularly for super-tall structures, is not merely risky, it's an invitation to disaster. The consequences are measured not just in dollars, but in public trust and structural integrity. The Millennium Tower stands as a powerful cautionary tale. It reveals the complex interplay between geology, engineering design, urban development, and legal accountability. As cities continue to grow, pushing the boundaries of vertical construction on increasingly challenging sites, the lessons from this sinking skyscraper will resonate for generations. Its ongoing struggle is a stark reminder that even with the most advanced technology, fundamental principles of structural integrity cannot be compromised. The Earth, it seems, always has the final word.